reminder, we're gonna start the town of Carthage and a monthly meeting for December 7th. You roll call, man, yeah.
Yes. Vice Mayor Peters.
Here.
Because they were drunk.
Councilman Gray.
Here.
Councilwoman Knappel.
Here.
Councilman Petty.
Anyway, I'll tell you that.
Councilman Warren.
Here.
City Attorney
It
Griffin.
was awful.
Okay, first item on the agenda is consider for approval of minutes is for the November 2nd council meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There are no bills over $10,000 currently. But I do want to make you aware of one, that both bills came in under $10,000, but it was for the same repair. We had to hire a crane to come in and look at one of our pumps at the water intake station. And that was, I mean, we couldn't have got it here any cheaper, and they repaired it. So both bills were $9,800, but it wasn't like we're trying to circumvent the $10,000. We got billed for the crane, and then we got billed for the emergency repair. But I want y'all to be aware of that, okay? We have citizens' concerns. Is there a Chris Underwood here? Okay, there's no one here to speak on citizens' concerns. We'll move on to my report, which the first thing I want to bring up today, we had 2 employees take the final test to become CMFOs. So we will have 3 trained CMFOs. The good thing about that training is it cost the citizens in the city $0. The state paid for that. It reimbursed for mileage and meals, no cost at all to anybody. And if they pass it, they're gonna get a $1,000 bonus from the state. That'll give us an opportunity. So if something, when Scott says, hey, I've had enough, we've got someone that's gonna be trained, ready to step in. We don't have to go out and try and find somebody. All right, on a good note is, we have sold, in the time that I've been in office, a total of $116,634.77 worth of surplus equipment that's gone directly back into the general fund. Now, another thing is, with Scott's investment into the public liability pool, we have earned $221,243.95 in interest. So therefore, we have put back in the general fund in 1 year, $337,878.72. So all the equipment, the trucks that we bought, the leaf machine, basically the city's being reimbursed for that, so the citizens are getting out of it. And that's what I've got for the mayor's report. We have committee reports. I believe, Scott, you had a report you want to make?
Yes, sir. I did want to re-echo what, on my report, you have a written report there. A couple of things that I wanted to highlight to you as you look at the financial report. When you're studying to be a CPA and so forth, they teach you how to use these advanced symbols to designate good things. So if you look on the key financial metrics, you'll see the smiley face. It's taken us 2 months of the new water rate to get back into the green, and I expect that will continue to move forward. We don't have too many more emergency repairs, but that's what the goal is, but it's taken us 2 months of that to get there. Wanted to, already covered the emergency repair. Once again, the mayor mentioned it was over $10,000 for the 2 bills, but it was an emergency repair, and we have notified you there. I did want you to look in your financial report on page 20. On the right hand side you have page 20. And this is the water sewer fund. Based on the approvals that you've done, we've now been able to work through all of the bad debts in our receivables. And so we've got that clean all the way through June 30th of 2023. So at November 30th, we had $4,420 of outstanding current water sewer bills, okay? So those will eventually come in, they'll pay the penalties, but some of them get cut off in a period of time. But we do have leniency during November and December. Okay, so I just wanted you to be aware of that, because that was one of the things that you had approved. And that's what I got as far as the report that I wanted to highlight for you. And then when you get to unfinished business, I'll have some more.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. I just want to say that even though he's not here, Mr. Underwood followed the new resolution, emailed in and got put on the agenda. So I want to thank him for following the resolution, because it makes things more organized for us. All right.
You're not allowed to tell us what it is, are you? You say you put in a resolution?
No, he followed the resolution that we put in place to get on the agenda to speak.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. He wanted to talk about traffic lights. That's what he wanted to talk about. Do we have any more department heads or committees that want? No? All right, we're on to unfinished business. Item number 1 will be removed and added to next month's agenda. Item number 3, which is crosswalk and parking update. Spoke to the engineer. His wife had emergency surgery last night. He was unable to be here. He will be here next month with his findings on the changing the crosswalk and adding parking spaces. The item number 2 is a bid approval for enterprise software purchases will be covered by Scott.
You got the 68-page proposal from Tyler Technologies on your email. I've summarized it into kind of an executive summary with where we're looking at doing the money. We're not asking for new money for this. I've given you an explanation on there of exactly what we would take it out of to fund this. The maximum cost for phase 1, and this is maximum, the software itself is $29,073. Now, we're committed to a 3-year for the first phase. This will get finance, administration, not administration, but finance. We'll get that part all done, the data conversion and all those aspects done first. Training, implementation. Software is $29,073, but they shoot high when they come to training, data conversion, and all that. I don't think we'll take near $93,000 because I know what it takes to do the conversion, and it's not going to take us $93,000 worth. That makes sense to you? But I want you to know that's what they have bid. We bid out to another, or we notified another company, and they chose not to bid for us. But this is one we've looked at, had the ladies look at it. We've done it together with a demonstration, was able to ask questions. I think this program will take the town well into the future. It also gives us the capability to expand to every department with integration into the whole thing. So we'll have software capabilities that will integrate all our departments. And for example, when we get there, each department head, the employees themselves will put in their time cards electronically. Department heads will review them. They will automatically feed into our payroll system, be reviewed, and it'll be that way. And there's multiple other things that can be done once we phase it in. The only phase I'm looking for right now is the phase 1, and that's the financial processes, property taxes, and utility billing, and then the content manager part of it. That's a document management system so that we can pull up any documents that is all digitized, including, our 1804 minutes and whatever, because we have now digitized we've digitized everything in the vault. So we have it already magnetically converted. Now we just need a system that allows us to search it and do what we want. And all of these things, it has a component that we can put on the website for the citizens can do that research, and they can pay their bills, pay permits. I mean, if we want, we can expand this as far as we want to go, but we have control of it. That was one of the criteria. It had to be modular, that we could pick and choose the parts that we wanted to implement. So my recommendation for phase one for 23-24 is the $122,000, and you can see where it's coming out of existing appropriations. We're not looking for new money, and it all has reasons why we're not using what we've got on there. So, but I'll be glad to answer any questions about this that you might have.
I'd like to add to that, it's also gonna save money in the long run. No longer have to have paper time cards, no longer have to have people walking. They can all do everything electronically, along with work orders and stuff for water leaks. It'll streamline the process, and it'll make it better for our citizens to go on the website and say, what is the ordinance about cutting grass? They type in the word grass and boom, it comes up.
So this is actually citizen friendly.
Very friendly for the citizens. And I've looked at it and I think it's important, because none of us are gonna be around in the next 5 or 6, well, I shouldn't say that. Some of us may not be here in the next 5 to 6 years, but it'd be beneficial
What
to
are you trying to say?
our next predecessors, I should say.
Did you sit through, or question, do we need to make a motion before we
Yes.
discuss? Motion to approve for discussion.
Second.
Discussion.
Did you sit through he said there was what did you call it?
Training
A
session.
training session that showed you how to use it and all that. Did you sit through that?
No, sir, I did not.
Is it possible that whenever something like that comes up, that we could get notified to where we could come in and sit down and see it too? Because it's kind of, we're just kind of saying,
Absolutely.
yes, that sounds like it's a good thing, but I've not, I would like to see how it works too.
Absolutely,
Yeah, that'd be great.
not a problem at all. Y'all are
We
welcome
can
here.
have that set up before you make your decision here if you want to do that.
I would, I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I'd like to see how it works.
I'll make
See what
a
we're
motion.
voting on for $93,000.
I'll make a motion to approve it if that's the proper thing now.
That is, but I mean, well, are you done? Are we done with discussion?
I am.
Okay. Everybody else done? And now you're making a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
With the amendment that we can maybe see how it
Yeah,
works first?
sure.
How would that
Why
look,
don't-
or how do you?
Will
Why
we
don't
know?
why don't we
Yeah.
do it this way? Motion to approve pending training videos and approval.
Why do we,
For those that want to be there.
yeah, why do you need pending, and we'll make that happen. These guys got schedules, and we may be pushed off months and months, so we're already,
I mean, I agree, but, I mean, that's
yeah.
their call. But are you just making a motion to approve as is, or?
Let's let Jesse make it, because he understands it better than I do.
That's not necessarily true.
So you're rescinding your motion?
I'll rescind it and let him make it, counter make it, or whatever you will call it.
We don't want to put it off months if it's going to be months before we get them to come
Well, they won't
again.
come. It'll be
Now
a
you-
Zoom session.
Oh,
We
okay.
set it up here,
Hey.
what we did.
Now, you remember, we're not gonna spend $123,000
Sure.
tomorrow. The first phase is what we're talking about,
Software.
software.
And
And
then it's-
then, go ahead, I mean, most of it's gonna be training costs, because they have to send someone here, whatever they do.
So if we do that for us, that'll be an extra cost? They won't
No, no,
have to show
no.
us?
No.
Okay.
That's just, I'll just tell them.
Just making sure.
Yeah, our council persons want to see you demonstrate the software. And I'm great with that. I just don't want us to put it off
Right,
for 6
absolutely.
months.
But if they could come pretty quickly, would we not be able to do a
Why
special
don't-
call
why
maybe
don't-
to where we could vote on
Be
it?
hard
Why
to
don't we do this?
That's true, that's true.
Why don't
What
we
is
do
your-
this? You've got a motion on the table to approve it, contingent on the training being reasonable within the next month, something along those lines. That way we don't have to have another meeting.
Let's just make it simple. Motion to approve, I second. vote on it, and then we just say we would like them to do as, well, not come in, but he said it'd be Zoom, so it could be something we could just log in and see this time. But going forward, I'd like, whenever they have it, I'd love to sit on that kind of stuff too.
I can send you all the stuff because we
Yeah.
get training. People trying to sell us stuff all the time.
So I second his motion.
All right.
And I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You may have already said this, but what is your thought on the cost? Is it a reasonable, is it compared to others?
I know how
How do you-
this works as I've implemented county software
Right,
before.
that's why I asked, what do you
Yeah.
think?
When it comes to the data conversion, I could do it myself, but I don't want to. Because it would require a good amount of time for me to do it. But I know how the files are structured, so I'm gonna know, hey guys, you're paying, that's too much to do the data conversion.
So
it's
you
just-
can negotiate?
Well, we have up to 93,000. They're highballing it, and they have to. But it is dependent upon how much time it takes to do the actual
I
data
see what you're
conversion.
saying now, yeah,
How
that
much
makes
training
sense.
it takes. Well, there's 4 of us, okay, to be trained. And I just don't think it's gonna take near that. But that is on site, and that's their cost, to come in. Yeah, I don't think it'll take $93,000.
Because you already are aware.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I could do it the hard way, but I don't want to. Is that too straightforward?
Fair enough.
Any other discussion? Okay, we are dealing with money. We'll do a roll call vote.
Well, may I say one thing? I'm good if we're looking at another month, because if I call the guy tomorrow and say, hey, my council would like you to do a demonstration.
Well, they're voting to approve it. We'll get the training, and then anytime there's future training, we'll go invite everybody in.
Yeah, well, this won't be training, it'll just be
Right,
demonstrating.
and that's what I meant.
Demonstration.
And that's
Exactly.
what I meant to,
I
yeah.
misstated that, I'm sorry. Okay,
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Knappel,
Yes,
Councilman Petty,
Yes.
Councilman Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Peters.
Yes.
okay. No opposed, motion carries. Now we're on to new business. The first item on new business is to fill the unexpired term of a former councilman. Y'all got the letters of the people that or the person that inquired.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
there's a letter on here.
Well, it's nominate. You're nominating, you're not approving.
Motion to nominate Ms. Gail for three.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Knappel,
Yes,
Councilman Petty,
Yes.
Councilman Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Peters.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I'm gonna bring Ms. Gail Grigg up and swear her in so she can participate in the rest of the meeting. Come up in front and sit here. What's it?
Put her in the bill where he say, which by the way, we need that little plaque on the back of here.
We talked about that.
Raise your right hand.
You get a picture, Jessica?
I am.
I state your name.
I, Gail Creek,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will honestly and faithfully,
I will honestly and faithfully,
without fear, favor, or affection,
without fear, favor, or affection,
execute the duties of the offices in Alderwoman,
execute the duties of the office of
Alderwoman of the town of Carthage, Tennessee,
of the town of Carthage, Tennessee,
to which I have been duly appointed.
and to which I have been duly appointed.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will support the ordinances
I will support the ordinance
and charter of the town of Carthage,
and the charter of the town of Carthage,
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
the Constitution of Tennessee,
the Constitution of Tennessee,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Now,
Sign it.
I need you to sign here. Thank you. All right, the next 4 items on the agenda are concerning employee raises and steps for different classes and certifications that they've obtained. Supervisor Brooks completed collection license for wastewater treatment, which is a big thing that we needed. So I'm proposing to move him from C9 to C9 step 1. It'll be a raise from his current position. On the next item will be Kevin Bowles. He is he got his cross connection license, which is important in that business. We're proposing to move him C4 to step 11. Now, these steps are not like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, it's like, I think $1.90 an hour or something like that. It's just, we're not giving them thousands, if that makes sense. And then we want to promote Roger Bowles to maintenance worker 2, which would make him a C4, grade 12. And now we have the 2 people that finished the CMFO class today. We won't have their results until tomorrow. So we want to move them to different grades once it's contingent on them passing the CMFO. Now we can vote on these individually, or we can lump them together as a whole.
Motion to approve all of these, including number 5, with the, be contingent of them passing their test tomorrow, right? That'd be my motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is, we're seeking council approval to put out a RFP, which y'all know what RFP stands for, right? For land purchase for a possible location for City Hall, but we also want to include existing building in that also. Not that we're gonna go out and buy it, we just want to put it out there and see what's available.
Fair enough. Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The next item on the bid is Councilman Petty's discussion to amend ordinance regarding speed limits.
And first of all, this was my idea.
You gotta make a motion.
Well, my motion is that we suspend, that we return the speed limit on Industrial Drive back to 25 miles an hour, with the exception of between Park Avenue and Hackett Lane, and with the idea of possibly even put up when children are present.
Second.
Any discussion?
You want to tell why?
Well, I think I overshot things a little bit. I don't think it's necessary.
So you're suggesting a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit zone, except for between where the park is, would be 15. My suggestion is maybe we should get some sort of flashing caution light or something to put up that way.
Exactly.
But
Your thoughts?
Chief, you got any discussion or any?
I think the 15 mile an hour is definitely warranted. If you want to put up a, when children are present, we used to have them up here at the school, obviously,
Yeah.
in this area, and it does help a little bit. Now, as far as the flashing lights, something we could look into, obviously, as well.
That was just a suggestion.
I know why we did the other initially was to try to keep it from fluctuating so much, but I also understand the concern too, is you don't want to make everything else something when that's not really your intent over here. Your intent is right here to protect this area.
Right, we were protecting the children, and it turned out to be everything, which we did the right thing.
I'm not opposed to whatever the council decides to do.
Any more discussion?
You want to make an amendment to it to look into the cost of adding a flashing light there for when children are present?
I'll second that for sure.
Well, yeah.
Make that amendment. And then
Amend it, or we just make it a new motion
Why don't
after
we
this one?
just make a new motion? Make a motion to return the speed limit back to
Make a motion to return the speed limit on Industrial Drive to 25 miles an hour, with the exception of between Park Avenue and Hackett Lane, and with the proposal to look in to see what it would cost to have flashing lights when children are present.
right, but we're going to lower this or higher the speed limit without that. What I'm saying is we're going to automatically change the speed limit then we'll look into flashing lights. Okay?
Right.
Any more discussion?
Yes.
Wait,
Will that include Swope and Third Avenue, being they're all connected, change all back to 25?
It's my thought, yes.
well, I think we should change the whole,
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
bits
Have
and
it broke
pieces.
down so much, I agree.
If we're in discussion, my whole reasoning was
Give me a
from
second.
Park Lane or Avenue or whatever it is to Hackett Lane, that we try our best to slow people down. We know that I'm about the only one that's gonna drive 15 miles an hour through there, but we don't want them going 35 miles an hour, particularly when kids are present and from ball fields and ball games and everything.
No, I agree. I mean, we did it with good intentions.
I don't know if I seconded that, but I am now, if I didn't.
And we want to see more activities down there, so it
Yes.
just makes sense. There'll be more families down there, more kids.
Yes. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next one is Councilman Petty also.
I've had several people approach me about
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we investigate turning the tennis court / basketball court at the city park into a pickleball court.
Second.
Have a second discussion.
Would they still have the option, would we still keep basketball goals there?
Well,
I'm just asking.
Have you been down there?
I have not. Or would we put new goals in
Well,
and make it more of a,
We would need to put new goals in. For some reason, they're sitting in the middle of the asphalt with a goal facing this way and a goal facing this way. It's hard to play basketball that way.
You're gonna need a taller fence on,
On one
that's gonna be
side.
another fence project.
Well,
Cause it's
that's,
gonna end up in their yard, the neighbor's yard back
and
there.
I have no problem with it going to a pickleball area. I don't. I think that gives everybody more opportunities to do more things down there. But
I mean,
I mean,
just-
if you're gonna do that,
wait.
can we,
let me ask you this. I'm asking Sam, you want us to investigate that? Do you have any leads of where we can go?
I don't have a clue. I'm not exactly sure what
Well,
pickleball is. A combination between tennis and badminton to me, and that's about
it is,
And bingo.
but that's my thought. Does it need to be a tennis court like it is at Paris? And then they adapt the smaller pickleball with tape
maybe
actually or
have like
paint
a
or whatever?
multi-purpose
Yes.
type
But you would
facility
start with a tennis
options
court, I
to
believe,
do
in the
Different
tennis.
color paint.
I used to play
things,
tennis
yes.
down there when it was tennis
Well,
courts,
tennis
yeah.
down there.
What we may have to look at is possibly putting,
But I don't know about the basketball goals there too.
that's what I'm saying, it's not it's big, but it's not gonna be.
We are investing money here in this basketball court. Why don't we get
Which is
rid of
very
the
close.
basketball court over here
That
and
would be
just
my
make
thought.
that either
Tennis.
pickleball or tennis?
That's what I would
Tennis and
think,
pickleball
both. You
playing
could
on
do
the
Why do we
tennis
need
and,
two?
Thing.
you're gonna have the same net and everything. I would think you could
Okay.
just have both.
So I wanna make sure we get this right, cause I wanna do what y'all want. So you want us to investigate, basically, probably have to resurface, putting the net in, and then striping it for tennis and pickleball.
And eliminating the basketball goals.
Well, I mean, they'd have to.
It's already-
Yeah, they're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead, does everybody have that? Okay,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. That's the last item on the
Motion
agenda.
to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.